What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, we have some Pirates news to talk about yet again. Now, I don't necessarily know what day the video is going to be going up versus when I'm recording this. I'm recording this one day after this happens. Maybe by the time you see it, it will be a couple days old, but I definitely want to throw my hat out there and kind of say what I think about this newest talk of Jerry Bruckheimer. It's not necessarily the greatest news, but honestly, it's not the worst news either. So, really quickly, before I jump into this, I want to mention our Discord server. Loads of people have been joining over the last couple weeks. I do want to just, throw it out there if you guys are interested. We have an entire Pirates of the Caribbean community. Loads of people that have watched these videos that are in there as well. So if you guys are interested, definitely consider checking it out. Now, Jerry Bruckheimer had an interview with Collider, I believe it was, where he said this, and this is the only thing. Now, the article makes it sound like he's going to talk like having a whole essay about it, but here's the one quote that they gave. The one we're developing right now, we're not sure quite what Johnny's role is going to be, Bruckheimer revealed, so we're going to have to see. Now, again, is that the greatest news in the world? No, it really isn't. Is that the worst news in the world? No. I feel like what's going to happen, and we've talked about it before, right? It's going to take, I think, a couple years to then look back and figure out who was telling the truth, who was lying, where all was there fake news going on there? Was it real? What was going on? Because in the movie industry specifically, now it happens in the gaming industry too, but mainly the movie industry, you can really get caught up in fake rumors. I mean, it happens all the time with Hollywood actors, Hollywood actresses, anything, movies, television, all the time. There's a lot of fake news basically that goes around. So for this, does this contradict what we've heard in the past? Kind of, honestly, because what do we know? We know that they have two writers, right? Ted Elliott and the writer of Chernobyl. I keep forgetting his name. I'm sorry. But those two. And they've been working on the script for a Pirates movie. I'm pretty sure that's where it stops in terms of confirmation, right? We've all said, okay, is it the female-led movie? Is it the Pirates 6? Are they waiting on Johnny Depp? What's going on? That's all. That has all always been speculation. We've gotten rumors that they've moved on from Johnny Depp, and then we got rumors that no, they're not moving on from Johnny Depp, and then we got rumors that no, they are, but they're actually making two movies. One has moved on from him, but it's a spin-off, and that's the female spin-off that we're talking about. But then there's also an actual Pirates 6 with Johnny Depp, and that's happening. So all of that stuff are rumors, are leaks, are insiders, and to be honest with you, at this point of the game, which we've done videos, countless times, right? I'm getting honestly sick of them. I'm not getting sick of talking to you guys about them. I think it's actually really fun, but I'm getting tired of, I've never seen for anything, and look at the channel, I cover a lot of leaks and a lot, like mainly games, right? But I cover a lot of them, and what I like about them is a lot of times they build a story, they build a narrative. You can kind of check on if they're lying, if they're making stuff up, if they're true, because sometimes they'll kind of say something that somebody else has said, but then they'll add on to it. And then again, in the gaming industry, I think you get answers like relatively quickly. So you do figure out pretty fast who's telling the truth, who's lying. You can tell from if the rumor is coming from Reddit versus 4chan versus Twitter. You can kind of tell who are the fakes, right? You can kind of tell that. For Pirates, I've never seen something like this. For any movie, any game, I've never, but I will admit that I don't really go into the movie leaks all that much. This is incredible, because what exactly is Jerry Bruckheimer? Well, here's what he's saying. So let's go over it one more time. The one we're developing right now. So what's the one you're developing, Jerry, please? We know that you have the two writers working on it. There is no director attached to it yet. And we also know that we actually never knew that he was producing it. It was speculated, it was thought of that, of course, he's going to be doing it, but it was never confirmed that he's producing it. I feel like he just gave confirmation that, oh, no, and we all knew this, right? Obviously, as long as Jerry Bruckheimer is alive, he's going to be producing a Pirates movie, right? So the one we're working on right now, well, what is that one? It's the one that the script is being worked on right now. But what movie is that? We're not sure, and I don't know why he says it like this. We're not sure quite what Johnny's role is going to be. Shouldn't it be quite sure? We're not quite sure what Johnny's role is going to be. This is the way they reported it. But by saying that, I feel like I've talked about a lot of different possibilities for this script, right? I feel like all the possibilities we could possibly be looking at. What I don't want to think, but what this really does lead me to, is the one I mentioned where it's like, are there just like blank pages, blank spots of the script where they're like, insert Jack Sparrow here if he's available? Remember, we talked about that. We talked about if Johnny Depp's situation was happening a couple years ago, it would be a lot better because, it's not all happening at the same time. They're making the script, but do they have to leave things open to potentially inject Johnny Depp into it? Or will the script be completely done and then they get a decision on him and they say, oh, okay, well, we just got to rewrite the entire script now because it makes no sense to throw you in there. You know what I mean? This can lead to a lot of, and we talked about that, right? It leads to a lot of different problems because can a movie, in my opinion, I really don't think this can happen. A movie, I don't think, is going to be good if it's made to be something, and then at the last second, you have to inject other stuff with it. An example of that is really reshoots. Movies that have a ton of reshoots that happen, like at the very last minute, oftentimes they're destined for failure. Why? Because you have this whole thing, and then you find something, maybe you find out that, man, catastrophically, this is bad. We need to try and fix as much of this or one part of this or whatever through reshoots, but we have to do it at the very end. It's never going to work. You drove yourself into a brick wall. It's pretty much what you did, right? Well, honestly, it starts all the way back at the writing process. So you have this movie being written. Let's say this is because again, that's the thing. We don't know. There's going to be people that are going to come out to have found out that they are just flat out liars, right? Because is the script the Karen Gillan one? But is Karen Gillan in Pirate 6? See, that's the question too. Is Pirate 6 a Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow farewell tour, right? As well as the kickstart for a brand new character. Do they bring Henry and Karina back? It's possible, but do they introduce the female lead and maybe put Jack as the supporting role he kind of was in like Pirates 1 through 3? Do they do that? And then the next movie is solely just like Karen Gillan. We'll just use her name, right? Is that the plan? And if that's the plan, how can you be making this movie? How can you be writing it if you don't know if he's going to be in it? So again, it's not the worst thing in the world because he kind of does confirm that the door is still open because they're not sure what his role is going to be. That tells me it's actually this is the first time that I thought about this, like right now when I was recording this. It could be likely that there's two scripts. And I think we've talked about that in the past too, right? Based off of what I was just saying, do you have these empty pages? Well, another thing you could do is you could make an entire movie with Karen Gillan, like imagining her as the lead, and you can make the whole movie, but you could also have a second script where you have Jack Sparrow in it. But the other one, you have it where he's not in it. You kind of have basically a scenario 1 and scenario 2 for whatever happens to Johnny Depp. Is that possible? I think that would sound the best. That would be the most likely to be the best thing humanly possible, because I just really don't think you can have a script with just missing things in it and saying, well, we'll just inject him into it later or not. I mean, we don't have to. And it's like, okay, well, then that's just destined for failure. I feel like it'll be really interesting to see years down the line, do they say like, yeah, actually funny, like here's a funny behind the scenes story for you guys. We actually wrote 2 scripts because we didn't know which one we were going to follow. But does that make them look bad or sound bad if they say something like that? I think it's the best case scenario you can do, because I do understand you need to have a plan in case you don't have Jack and in case you don't have Johnny Depp, right? You need to have a plan. But at the same time, if you do have him, you should have a movie script with him in it. So again, that's a positive thing. Jerry Bruckheimer, basically, I do read this as him leaving the door open for Johnny Depp, because he's not saying no, we've completely moved on, we're not even thinking about it, he's fired, he's not coming back. No, he said, we're not sure what his role is going to be. Why would he say something like that? The only reason is, well, can we get him? Will Disney hire him? Will he win against Amber Heard? Is his name going to be cleared? All this kind of stuff. What's going to happen? I feel like that's the best way Jerry Bruckheimer could have said it. But again, there is a lot of other things floating around there. What about the people that have said, what about the rumors that have said there's actually 2 movies? They're actually working on a female, not even a reboot. I almost said it. Not a female reboot. They're making a female spin-off movie and a Pirate 6. Are they making 2 movies at the same time? No one has ever said that up until a week or 2 weeks ago, right? So again, lots of very interesting things going on. It's going to be really, really interesting maybe it will take years down the line to figure out what actually is going on. Again, it's this is big. I honestly feel like it's big, though. Jerry Bruckheimer speaking on this is a big thing. Him especially basically leaving the door open for this to maybe happen. And it's not guaranteed, but it's also not guaranteed that it won't happen, is some of the better news that we've heard, right? Because Jerry Bruckheimer, beyond anybody, like, he's the number one, right? Pirates is his vision. It's always been his, and it always will be his, even when he's gone, right? And so I think for him to come out and say it is probably, besides Johnny Depp saying, like, hey, yeah, I still want to do Jack, or, like, I'm in talks with them, like, other than him saying that, and if that ever happens, that would then be the biggest thing in the world. Beyond that, I think this Jerry Bruckheimer in general, talking about it is the best that we can expect right now. So, guys, let me know. This is a long saga. Let me know what you think about what's going on here. Do you think there could be 2 scripts being worked on, one with, one without Jack? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.